70 years. The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
It was just a pretty day yesterday with that light snow falling all day.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of snow when, it's not really that impactful. Yes, roads might get a little slippery, but for the most part, light snow falling. It's just a taste of the holiday season. Let's take a look at what goes on outside today. In the meantime, we have some light snow falling in parts of our area today, but this is about as much as we'll see. We're looking at almost an entirely dry day for the first time in quite a while. We don't have any snowfall map to show you, so that's some good news, at least for us. Give us a bit of a break here in the weather department, but either way, 19 in Rome and in Johnstown, pretty much a similar temperature, upper teens in a lot of our area. Let's zoom in here, though. We have 18 in Long Lake and in Indian Lake, 16 in Dolgeville and in Little Falls, 21 in Washington Mills, heading south, 18 in Sherburne, 20 in Morris, 18 Cooperstown, and 16 degrees in Oneonta. Yorkville Battery Live Radar shows the light snow pushing its way in sections of the Mohawk Valley. The heavier snow has still remained in the Watertown area or just south of Watertown as expected, and this will continue to fizzle out as the temperatures climb and conditions favor less lake effect. Live look at Cooperstown, a quieter morning out there, and we are again tracking the arrival of some dry weather for much of the entire day today and a warm up this week. We'll have a look at that, plus a very early sneak peek of our Christmas forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Breaking news this morning. The U.S. military confirms they have killed 8 more people in another operation targeting alleged drug boats linked to terrorist organizations. At the direction of Defense Secretary.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Today we are tracking some lingering flurries. Other than that, a mainly quiet day, but we'll have a look at that in a lot more detail in your forecast here in a minute. First off, we'll take a look at the current conditions right now at 19 degrees with calm winds outside. So that feels like temperature also still feeling like 19 out. So that sunrise, by the way, at 7:29. We have a couple more days before we hit our, in fact, I would say even 4 or so days until we hit our shortest day of the year. Then we're going to be seeing those longer mornings and longer afternoons. A look at the roadways this morning. We have mainly quiet conditions. A few side roads obviously still slightly snow covered. The temperatures cold enough where a lot of that treatment isn't really melting some of that snow. But again, we're going to see those temperatures climb over the next few days, allowing that to take place. Some light snow in parts of our area early today, but that'll exit. We're going to see a mainly quiet day with some opportunities for sunshine peeking out throughout the afternoon. And on top of that, highs climbing into the mid-20s. A quiet day throughout the day, and we have a look at a warm-up with rain and snow chances toward the end of the week. We'll have the details on that straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Winter gear and a lot of food will be distributed to local food pantries just in time for the holidays. Thank you.
By Neurosurgery, Dr. Q cares about you.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today we start out with a few flurries, but besides that, expect a pretty quiet day today. No impactful snow or rain. It is just quiet, which is great news. Let's take a look at downtown Utica. We have clear roads out there right now. Temperatures in the upper teens to low 20s. And we are tracking some light snow passing over us right now, but that will exit rather quickly. The only lingering snow will be from lake effect, and even then, that will fade away, especially just south of Watertown. That lake effect, by the way, is not expected to reach us here locally throughout the entire day. How about this for your cookie forecast as we enter the holiday season? Figured to be festive enough for doing the forecast. In terms of some cookies here, I have 22 at 10 a.m., 27 at 3, and 23 at 7. So we hover in the 20s for much of the day today, and it's going to be almost entirely dry. Now, we are tracking a warm-up toward the end of the week. Look at this right here, 42 on Thursday, 47 on Friday. But keep in mind, this happens in the morning hours Friday. A massive cold front begins to work its way in toward the end of the week. I'm going to show you right here. So there's that northwest wind switching over to a westerly wind today. You can see pretty quiet weather across the board. Tomorrow, it's a little warmer, above freezing for parts of the Mohawk Valley. We're going to see a brief round of rain and snow. And then look at this contrast here. There is where we're seeing that warm up. And then there's that cool down. This is Thursday at 5 p.m. And then this will be arriving later Friday into Saturday. But also, this is Thursday at 5. We've got quiet weather here. Thursday is going to be a pretty nice day, at least for December standards. Sunshine, upper 30s, low 40s. But either way, before that, though, we do have some rain and snow to deal with on Wednesday. Today, as I mentioned, is quiet. Wednesday shows up in the 20s, already above freezing at around 9 to 10 a.m., hovering in the upper 30s. You can see a round of rain and snow moving through in the early afternoon. A round of snow in the higher elevations, rain in the valley spots. And then toward the evening hours, another brief round of a light mix of snow or sleet before we do quiet down again. And look at this, Thursday, we're at 32 degrees at noontime. This is probably the best day we're going to see melting across the area in terms of snow melt. But then by the overnight hours, we have rainfall, and of course that'll cut down on some of that snowpack as well. An early preview of Christmas. This is about as far out as we can see in terms of accurate, or I should say more reliable data. Obviously, this is not that accurate going beyond 7 days out, but what we are looking at here is a pretty busy pattern where our area is hovering right around the jet stream, which means it's going to be an active path of rain and snow systems, and so far it looks to be on the warmer side of those systems by next Thursday for Christmas. But again, stay tuned for updates, of course, as the days do get closer here. But Gary, look at that, Thursday, 42 and sunny. What a difference a week makes.
Yeah, I can't wait for some more, even some more sun today. So
yeah, not too bad.
We'll take it. Eric, thanks. The city of Utica is now selling seafowl. It is a chilly one once again this morning, but not as bad as yesterday. And Eric, you were mentioning today won't be as snowy as yesterday either, right?
Yeah, that's right, Gary. They're looking really quiet weather-wise. In fact, let's take a look at the conditions outside right now because, I mean, we have a few areas reporting snow showers, Syracuse, Watertown, Buffalo, but that's really about it. In fact, we look at the temperatures here this morning. We're at 19 degrees in Rome, Hamilton, and in Johnstown. Zooming in, 17 Otter Lake, 21 Whitesboro, 21 down in Fort Plain in Montgomery County, and 21 up in Lowville. We head south, 17 Richfield Springs, 19 Cherry Valley, and 16 degrees heading south into Oneonta. Now, I mentioned those weather stations reporting snow showers. Now, of course, there are snow falling where there aren't any weather stations reporting it. You can see here on the radar, light snow showers south of the Thruway in southern Herkimer County, and again in southern Montgomery County and some portions of Hamilton County here. But that is fizzling out. We're going to see pretty quiet weather for much of the day today. We zoom out, we can see that lake effect still continuing south of Watertown. That will stay outside of our area today. Live look in Cooperstown this morning. As I mentioned, 18 degrees of temperature. It is a quiet start to your day today, and we're going to see those temperatures climb into the mid-20s. So although we're not warming up that high today, expect a mix of sun, clouds, overall dry, unimpactful weather today. We have a look at a warm-up toward the end of the week, as well as some rain and snow chances. We'll have the details on that straight ahead. Gary.
Eric, thanks. Well, today is the big day. The studio has...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Tuesday morning. Our photo of the day today, this one caught my eye. It was submitted, one of the latest submissions here on our website, and this one was not marked with an exact location, somewhere here in central New York, but the viewer who submitted this, unintentional hearts. Now you notice here, the person submitted it said that the mailman did a turn in the driveway and unintentionally created 2 hearts here, and I think that's kind of cool. I never would have looked at that as a detail on the ground. So an amazing photo sent in to us by Linz. If you have one you'd like to share with us, something even as abstract as this, but it might brighten someone's day, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. So today it is a cooler start, not as cold as yesterday morning. We are in the upper teens, low 20s, so grab that extra layer, but it's not bone-chilling cold out, at least for December standards. 21 in Whitesboro, 18 Cooperstown, 19 in Westmoreland, and 16 up in Inlet early today. And we're going to see those temperatures climb as we look ahead to much of the week this week. You can see here we're going to climbing into the mid-30s tomorrow, 40s by Thursday and Friday, but we've got a massive cool down arriving Friday into Saturday. We'll track that, plus the conditions the next few days straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. As we inch closer to the holiday.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Today we are tracking mainly quiet weather, a few flurries winding down, and today clouds and then eventually a few peaks of sunshine. Downtown Utica, a live view outside. The roads are looking mainly clear. Again, some side roads might have some snow on them, but should have really no issues driving into work early today. Radar, again, as I mentioned, showing that snow winding down and that lake effect still persisting up near Watertown. That is again expected to weaken as the temperatures climb today. The Great Lakes definitely starting to get a bit on the colder side. How about this seasonal time of the year? Let's bring in that cookie forecast. And today we're in the 20s for pretty much the morning, afternoon, and evening. High of 27-ish degrees around 3 o'clock. And the most important thing, it's dry today. No rain or snow, no impacts to travel. But we might have some more rain and snow chances later on this week. But that will be accompanied by some warmer temperatures and a much-needed thaw. Yes, snow is great, but I do think a lot of you have roofs and homes that you might want to have some of that snow melt at least before we might get more snow later on in the season. This will definitely help. Mid-30s Wednesday, sunshine in 40s Thursday, and then widespread rain in upper 40s Friday. But that'll be followed by a cool down by Friday night. So we look at this here, that northwest wind switches to a westerly wind. Quiet weather for much of the day today. We got a chance of some rain and some snow showers Wednesday, depending on elevation. A weak cold front which will fizzle out, and we're going to see this huge difference in weather right here. Look at this. There's this warm weather expected Thursday, and there's this massive cold front right here, and some colder temperatures arriving later on Friday. This arrives overnight into early Friday, so it's going to be a rainy start to your end of the week. So we time it here in the Skycast. A cooler start today. We climb into the mid-20s. Following that, we're going to be back into the 20s again overnight tonight, and eventually 30s by tomorrow, with mostly cloudy skies and a round of rain, even some snow in those higher elevations. Another round of it with a mix of sleet and rain overnight, and then Thursday, our best shot for sunshine, our best shot for snow melting, with temperatures in the mid-30s. And then overnight, that rainfall moves in. This will also obviously help with that snow melt. But of course, following that, we're going to see that massive cool down. Early preview of Christmas. It's still way too early for an official forecast. We're giving you guys a heads up that it is trending to be a bit on the active pattern, especially for the days leading up to Christmas as well. The jet stream's right over us. We are tracking the potential for a rain system here and there, but as the days get closer, I'll let you know if that trends rainier, it trends drier. For now, though, there's no major Arctic blast or anything like that, looking pretty seasonable. So that's the early preview of Christmas. Now today, Gary, finally, it's looking pretty quiet.
Yeah, what a nice day Thursday to go out and Christmas shop, right?
Oh, that's right. Sunny, and it's actually above freezing. How about that?
42. Eric, thanks. The Little Falls girls basketball team.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And some light snow falling, but nothing major today, right?
Nothing major, pretty quiet, Gary. First time in a while where we have really no snow maps to put out and no travel worries. It's a pretty quiet day outside. Let's take a look at the current conditions. It is a little chilly. I wouldn't say frigid or anything that would warrant any extra layers, but still just bundle up accordingly today. We're in the low 20s and teens, not a major wind chill out there today. We'll continue to see these temperatures climb a few more degrees into the mid-20s this afternoon. We zoom in around central New York. First off in the North Country, 16 inlet, 17 Outer Lake, 17 in Lake Pleasant, 16 Little Falls, 19 Westmoreland, and 21 out in Sylvan Beach. Heading south, it's 19 Cherry Valley, 20 Hessville, 20 in Morris, and 16 in Oneonta. Yorkville Battery Live Radar shows a few light snow flurries taking place in maybe sections of Little Falls and St. Johnsville, but that will be exiting as we head throughout the next few hours with just some lingering lake effect in parts of Watertown. In fact, the areas just south of Watertown. That will weaken throughout the morning. Live look in Cooperstown early today. It is again, quiet morning out there. Roads look pretty clear down there as well. And high temperatures peak in the mid-20s with a peak of sunshine here and there too. And overall pretty dry weather. But we are looking at some warmer temperatures, a much needed thaw as we head toward the middle of the week. We'll have the details on that coming up straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are following some breaking news this morning. The U.S. military.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Tuesday. Time now is 6:11, and what can you expect outside today? Well, a pretty quiet one out there. We'll have a look at that in a lot more detail right here in your forecast in a minute as you head out to work today. Currently, it is 20 degrees outside. Light easterly wind of 3 miles an hour. Roadways also looking mainly quiet. Side roads might have a little bit of a slush on the roads, but either way, we're not expecting any more additional snowfall today. A few light flurries will be exiting our area shortly, and besides some lake effect that's taking place near Watertown or just south of Watertown, that's really about it in terms of any rain or snow across the area. We're still tracking mostly cloudy skies. We'll see a few breaks here and there today and highs in the 20s. In the meantime, when it comes to wind speeds, today's winds light, not that high. We have a bit breezier day on Wednesday, lighter winds Thursday, and then a massive cold front arrives Friday. That's going to kick up the winds big time with that strong south wind. We're going to dive into this, of course, the temperature trend, the warm-up we're seeing later this week, as well as that rain and snow possibility straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Winter gear and a lot of...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody, on this Tuesday. Aside from a few flurries this morning, things are quieting down. It's going to be a pretty dry day today. However, no thaw just yet. We'll wait a day or so for that. Downtown Utica, a live view outside right now. Roadways looking mainly clear outside today, too. And the radar also seeing some of that snowfall exiting and drying up as the morning progresses. We zoom out. We still have some lake effect near Watertown that is starting to dry up. Same thing for that lake effect out near Buffalo. early today. In the meantime, it is going to be a pretty quiet day today. How about that cookie forecast? Keep it pretty seasonable. We're in the 20s for the morning. By 3 p.m. at 27. At 7 o'clock, it's at 23 degrees. And the main thing, though, today, it's going to be dry. However, although we're going to be seeing some warmer temperatures by the middle and end of the week, it will not be as dry as today. So we'll be tracking some rain, even some snow chances toward the middle of the week, especially on Wednesday here. So look what happens. That lake effect dries up. We get that westerly wind coming in, keeping our weather quiet overnight through early tomorrow. But as we head throughout Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon, we're going to see that front move through right here, briefly producing a round of snow or rain, depending on elevation. That'll sweep away in the evening hours, and another round of rain begins to arrive as we head closer to Friday. But notice here, this is Thursday. It's dry. However, we have that strong south wind here. That's the warmest and sunniest will be, aside from Friday morning when this massive rainfall begins to move its way in. And then, of course, this huge dip in the jet stream brings some cooler weather on the way for the second half of Friday, a massive temperature shift. So our Skycast shows 20s today, a few peaks of sunshine, and following that, we're going to be looking pretty quiet overnight too as well. Overnight lows in the 20s, warming up above freezing tomorrow with temperatures in the mid-30s, round of rain in the valley, snow in the hilltops, same thing in the evening. Then we warm back up again into the 30s by Thursday, eventually low 40s with plenty of sunshine, a pretty quiet day, but then we'll see the arrival of widespread rain heading into Friday. That's going to be producing a good opportunity for snowmelt, especially, again, Thursday and Friday. But look at that temperature drop. Friday's high of 47. That takes place in the morning. In the evening, it's going to be a low of 19 degrees, so quite a drop there. And then by Saturday and Sunday, the weekend, not really that active. We're in the 30s, some snow showers here and there for the first day of winter. But today, Gary, it is a quiet one. We're not looking at any measurable snowfall today.
Yeah, let's give these plow drivers a rest,
Yes.
right? Boy, they've been busy.
Yeah, very busy.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. The city of Utica is now selling. It is a chilly one once again this morning, but not as bad as yesterday. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, not as snowy today as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Gary, we're looking at almost an entirely dry day today. So, as you mentioned previously, gives those plows some time to maybe get some maintenance done after a pretty busy stretch. Let's take a look at what's going on outside this morning. Temperature 20 degrees, not too cold out this morning. Yes, a bit chilly, but not Arctic. And a few snow showers reported in Syracuse, Watertown, and in Buffalo. But that's really about it. Light snow is progressively ending throughout the morning. 16 Little Falls, 19 Westmoreland, 17 in Inlet, and 18 up in Indian Lake. Heading south, it's 19 Cherry Valley, 19 in Norwich, 20 in Morris, and 16 in Oneonta. Live look at the radar. As I mentioned, that snow is slowly ending. We're going to see that lake effect near Watertown slowly end this morning, too. That's about it in terms of any snow that's going to be falling in New York State for much of the day today. Live look in Cooperstown. It's a quiet morning out there. Expect temperatures to climb from the teens this morning into the 20s by this afternoon. Not really climbing above freezing just yet. That's going to be reserved for tomorrow through Friday. But accompanying that warm up will be some rain and snow chances. We'll have the details on that straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A peace deal between Ukraine and Russia maybe.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Tuesday morning. Our photo of the day today is a great shot sent into us from a random location here in central New York. No location was submitted to this one, but I wanted to share it because this one caught my eye and it's really cool. So it might not look like much here, but this was sent in from Lynn's of unintentional hearts made by a postman who was doing a turn in the driveway, and in the process created this interesting scene here of two neighboring hearts. So what a great shot right here. If you have one you'd like to send that looks something like this, a snowman, anything to showcase either your talents with making snow sculptures or just simply showing the winter beauty of your neck of the woods. Send to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Evacuations are underway after the Green River levee broke in Kent, Washington. Sebastian Robertson has more this morning.
Along this portion of the Green River in Kent, a makeshift sand barricade is all that stands between floodwaters and businesses.
That is the line, and it's been doing good. We haven't crested yet.
Jobin Randhawa runs this pallet manufacturing company. He's closely watching the weather as an upstream levee breach caused water levels to rise and creep closer with every hour.
I think as soon as the water starts coming in this way, we're probably going to say we got to get going.
The governor activated the National Guard in King County as an atmospheric river pounds the region. By mid-morning Monday, floodwaters surged across Highway 167, shutting down both directions. The governor's office, working with King County, is putting residents and businesses in Tukwila, Renton, and Kent on notice to evacuate. But for some, that's not an option, at least not yet.
Our customers are schools, they're hospitals, they're people who need milk. Right. So we're more concerned about how we're going to distribute to the folks that really need it.
Meadow Sweet Farms is down to essential staff only as they monitor the rising water levels.
Our whole fleet is parked there, and our staff, our whole warehouse. So we are telling people basically to evacuate.
For now, many continue to work, hopeful Mother Nature will relent.
We've never even seen it even close to this high.
Here at home, the Little Falls girls basketball team faced
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Tuesday, we begin today with a few flurries that have since exited a lot of the area. And we're looking at a pretty quiet day today. A live look at downtown Utica. Roadways pretty clear and no more additional measurable snowfall today. First time in quite a while we can really say that. Probably since Tuesday maybe of last week was the last time. So gives the crews, DPW crews, time to service some of the plows. Again, if you've been following some of them on social media, after you plow roads for a week straight, obviously big machines like that sometimes need some maintenance. So more than welcome break here. But we head throughout the day today. That lake effect up north will stay to the north and weaken. So a pretty dry day across the region. Well, how about this for the holiday spirit? Our cookie forecast. I loved breaking this out this morning. Temperature at 22 at 10 a.m., 27 at 3, and 23 at 7 o'clock. So we have a pretty cool day, but not that cold. And a dry one, most importantly. So maybe a great time to start baking some of those cookies that time of year. Temperatures as we head in the middle of the week will be climbing above freezing. We'll have 3 days of a potential thaw before we cool back down again into the 30s, low 30s by Saturday. The northwest wind we're seeing right now is going to shift to a westerly wind today, and that'll usher in quiet weather. A cold front, a weak one, moves in briefly Wednesday. That'll produce the chance of a few light showers and snow showers in the higher elevations. Same thing in the evening hours, too, before it does dry up yet again. Then Thursday is looking pretty quiet, but then as we look to our west, this massive cold front is going to sweep its way through the area, initially producing rain early Friday, then quickly switching over to snow, strong winds, and some colder temperatures. A large temperature swing, by the way. So today, we climb into the mid-20s with some peaks of sunshine, otherwise mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we climb above freezing in the mid-afternoon. A brief round of rain in the valley and some snow showers in the hilltops. Same thing in the evening, a sleet-rain mix. Then we're back into the 30s again by Thursday. Lots of sunshine. South wind will likely climb into the upper 30s, near 40 Thursday afternoon. before that widespread rain moves in overnight into early Friday, setting the stage for a massive cool down once that cold front sweeps through. An early preview of Christmas. I want to give you guys a heads up what we're looking at. This is, of course, well beyond a week away, but an early idea points towards some active weather producing maybe some rainfall, but again, we'll let you know how this pans out as the days get closer. Well beyond 7 days, a lot of those patterns are rain showers and snow showers, sometimes fizzle out. But today, it's quiet. We're in the 20s. Friday, we're keeping a close eye on that because it's going to be rain. They're going from 47 to 19. So a quick drop in the temperature and some snow showers here there. So we'll enjoy the quiet weather today, Gary.
That's for sure. And again, those plow drivers definitely deserve a break.
Yes, definitely.
Eric, thanks. The Voice will joining us now. And Eric, as we mentioned earlier this morning, and still a quiet day for a change, right?
I know, right? Finally, we get to just take a bit of a deep breath and don't have to forecast any heavy snow again.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the radar. And yeah, what an uncommon sight here across the area. Entirely dry conditions all across the Mohawk Valley and some light lake effect snow up north slowly ending. Maybe a few flurries still flying in Watertown and even parts of Buffalo. But still, today, it's going to be a bit chilly. Temperatures remaining in the 20s with mostly cloudy skies. Some of you might be seeing a peak of sunshine here and there as we head throughout the afternoon and evening. By tonight, we're going to remain in the 20s tomorrow. More importantly, we'll be seeing our first chance climbing above freezing, getting ourselves our first look at a thaw. The first day of several days we'll climb above freezing before this warm pattern turns abruptly cold again. We have a massive cold front on the way later on this week, but before that, again, we have that warm up we'll be tracking. We'll talk about that, plus the rain and snow chances as we look ahead to much of this week coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A 70-year-old man from Utica.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody, on this Tuesday. What a quiet scene out there for the first time in quite a while. Matter of fact, looking back at some of our data, the last time we had a dry day like this, going back to last Monday. Let's take a look outside right now at this rare scene of quiet weather, even some sunshine peeking out in Cooperstown and in Oneonta. Still some stubborn overcast in Utica and from our vantage point here on the hill in Deerfield. Either way, it is still entirely dry in the Yorkville Battery Live radar. The only exception, some light snow in Buffalo and in Watertown, but that, of course, is going to end as the wind direction will shift as we approach the end of the day and into early tomorrow. Temperature-wise, we remain in the 20s today. Wind chills or feels like temperatures remaining in the low 20s, eventually teens tonight. As you can see here, it is entirely dry for the next, say, 12 hours. I would even go as high as 18 hours before our next round of rain or snow arrives tomorrow afternoon. But before we talk about that rain or snow chance, look at the temperature trend here. We're in the 30s tomorrow, our first thaw in a while, and then we've got a better opportunity for melting snow Thursday and Friday, especially Friday morning here. But keep a close eye on these temperatures as we show our Skycast here coming up shortly, because it might not be the timing you might think in terms of the warmest time of the day. So our Skycast shows that snow ending, the wind shifting more westerly. It's quiet tonight into early tomorrow. A cold front arrives tomorrow afternoon, bringing our chance of a round of rain and snow. Rain in the valleys, wet snow in the hilltops. Then we dry out, and then as we head into Thursday into Friday, look at this right here, this massive shift in temperature. There's all that rain overnight into early Friday, and then a huge drop. This is a very strong cold front, bringing a sharp decrease in temperatures from the 40s down into the teens in some spots. So our Skycast shows quiet weather today. Again, mostly cloudy skies, a few breaks in the clouds here and there. By tonight, it's going to be pretty quiet. Lows in the 20s, climbing into the 30s above freezing tomorrow. In the early afternoon, we could see a brief round of rain and again wet snow in the hilltops. Same thing in the evening, a sleety rain mix. Then by Thursday, we climb into the 30s, potentially low 40s in the afternoon with plenty of sun. A pretty nice day, December day out there. But then by the overnight hours, the winds pick up. The rain comes in heavy, and there will be a sharp drop-off in temperature in the middle of the day. Now, it's too early to put out an exact time frame. We are still thinking late morning or at the very latest mid-afternoon Friday, where that cold front is really going to drop those temperatures from the highs in the overnight hours. That's when the high is going to be, maybe 3, 4, 5 a.m., even into the mid-morning. But then we go from 47 19, a huge drop. We've got some wind, some snow. So we've got the battle of seasons taking place for the final days of fall.
Yeah, it could be a tricky travel night Friday night.
Yes, but at least today, no tricky travel, pretty quiet.
Yeah, good for us. Eric, thanks. The city of Utica now. And Eric, finally a quiet day weather-wise, even for the chipmunks to get out, right?
Oh yeah, it's not snowing sideways, it's not below zero. It's chipmunks enjoying some of the fresh seeds that you might be giving to your birds or basically any flying animal here. But listen, chipmunks, let them enjoy some of the food here too. It's always great seeing them out and about, especially when you put out some seeds for the bird feeders too. And again, especially in wintertime, food is a bit hard to come by. So shout out to Jim from Washington Mills for this great photo right here of a little fella enjoying the delectables that you have provided. Look in Oneonta right now. It's a pretty quiet scene out there. Some peaks of sunshine as well. Temperatures in the teens and 20s. In fact, much of the area already in the 20s. 25 in Rome, 23 in Johnstown, and 20 degrees heading down to Binghamton. And the radar, which is an uncommon sight here, is looking pretty dry. We're expecting to see an entirely dry day and pretty much dry night tonight here locally, with the arrival of some warmer temperatures as we head into tomorrow and for Thursday and Friday. But with that comes a massive temperature shift Friday afternoon, or at least late Friday morning. We're going to talk about that polar plunge, brief polar plunge, by the way. It's going to be warming up quickly again. But that plus the rain and snow chances for the next few days coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The U.S. military confirms that
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are continuing to track quiet weather. No snowfall or rainfall today. It's quite an outlier here of last week. A live look across the area right now. We've got some sunshine starting to move in. In fact, look at that. You got that elusive blue sky in downtown Utica. You're mentioning the possibility today, and those stubborn clouds have shifted north enough. Well, for those of you north of the Mohawk Valley, you might have to wait a bit longer, but still a nice treat for those of you in the Thruway and south, bringing us some pretty nice but still chilly weather. Our temperatures remain in the 20s. It's a cool December afternoon out there. And we continue to track dry weather. The lake effect to our north is still winding down to the point where there's barely any snowfall or rainfall here in the entire state. As I mentioned in the last half hour, the last time we saw something like this happen, last Monday. That's how busy this stretch of weather has been. Now, today's highs in the upper 20s. Keep in mind our normal high sits at 37 this time of year, so we have been in a very cold stretch. Now, the 20s cool down to the low 20s tonight. Wind chills in the teens, but still looking entirely dry, as you can see here. As we head into the next few days, though, we're going to start warming up into the mid-30s by Wednesday, low 40s Thursday, and upper 40s early Friday before a strong cold front arrives, dropping our temperatures from the 40s Friday morning into the teens by Friday night. So we'll dive into that here right now. So that lake effect winding down, quiet weather here temporarily. Tomorrow we have an opportunity for a few rounds of light rain in the valley or wet snow in the hilltops. Not a whole lot of measurable accumulation tomorrow there. But as we head into Thursday, it's sunny, it's dry, and then Thursday night, there's that surge of heavy rainfall, and there's that huge contrast. That rain quickly switching over to snow, and then backside lake effect snow from this dip in the jet stream right here. So on our Skycast today, it's looking rather quiet. Some peaks of sunshine here and there. Tonight we're in the low 20s. Tomorrow we climb into the mid-30s. In the Mohawk Valley, a nice gentle thaw for lower elevations. It might still remain slightly around freezing in higher elevations. Still, I think it's warm enough to produce some melting. Then as we head into Wednesday nights, we're going to be quiet. Thursday, a beautiful late December day. We're in the upper 30s, low 40s, lots of sun. Thursday nights, winds pick up, heavy rain moves in, and there comes that massive cold front here. As I mentioned, we go from 47 Friday morning to 19 Friday night. It's not lasting that long, though. We're back to seasonable temperatures for the final day of fall and the first day of winter, 37 degrees and some light snow showers. But again, today, Gary, we have a nice day. We have another nice day on Thursday, too. Get some chores done if you want. Maybe last-minute shopping out there because it's going to be sunny and dry.
Good idea. Eric, thanks. And a reminder this noon.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Pretty quiet day today. Nice to see the sunshine. We are looking at fairly quiet weather for the short term. The big headline is going to be ahead. We've got warmer weather on the way, a thaw, and also some wind to deal with later this week. But again, tonight, it's looking pretty quiet. If you're out running errands, good night to do that. Temperatures are cooling off. We're in the low 20s here. Clear skies. We just have a high overcast, and that'll be the case here heading throughout this evening, and a light breeze. So overall, pretty nice evening ahead. And again, it's dry tonight. That in and of itself is a headline these days with so many days we've had snow. Rain and snow showers return tomorrow afternoon as a cold front rolls through, and we've got milder temperatures on the horizon, especially heading into Thursday and Thursday night in particular. Partly cloudy this evening, temperatures in the 20s. We are tracking much milder temperatures along with some wind. And look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Almost 3 years after the start of construction.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Beautiful day today. Nice to see the sunshine. Pretty quiet weather tomorrow, but the winds are going to be picking up, especially by the afternoon. This is a live look at downtown Utica, and with today being pretty quiet, and we will stay dry, we want to keep in mind that we've got to be mindful of black ice this time of the year, because today, with the sun being out, even though it was below freezing, the sun does melt snow, especially on the roads. Any untreated surfaces could be slippery. And that's going to be the case over the next couple of days as we get into this thaw-freeze cycle. We climb above freezing during the day, we fall below freezing in the evening and at night, and any untreated surfaces could become very, very slippery. So you may want to consider treating them, or at the very least be mindful of this when you're out walking. Driveways, sidewalks, parking lots in particular could be pretty icy here over the next several evenings. The winds will be the big story this week, along with the warmer temperatures. Tomorrow we have a cold front coming in. That's going to kick up the wind in the afternoon. We could see wind gusts over 30 miles an hour with the winds turning into the west. The winds will settle down tomorrow night, and then they pick up again. The next area of low pressure moves in. Very active weather pattern this week. It's a south wind Thursday, so the hilltops south of the Mohawk Valley see wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and then the winds will gradually pick up in intensity heading into Thursday night and Friday, with wind gusts up to about 40 to 45 miles an hour. So again, some windy weather later this week along with some warmer weather. Our sunset times continue to increase. Even though the winter solstice is less than a week away, our evenings are slowly getting brighter. Our mornings are getting darker at a faster rate. But our sunset time today is 4:26. Tomorrow it's 4:27, and we will slowly gain daylight over the next couple of weeks. Our 5 o'clock sunset is in the second half of January. Current temperatures in the 20s, Dolgeville 22 degrees, Westmoreland 25, across Southern Valleys below freezing everywhere in our area, Cooperstown 24, Oneonta 23, and Unadilla with 27. Some high clouds are working in from the west. This is our next weather system, and the clouds are going to be lingering around tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the low 20s. Tomorrow, it's a cloudy day. The cold front arrives in the afternoon. A brief shower mixed between rain and snow showers will arrive in the afternoon. There could be some lingering snow showers into tomorrow evening. Little accumulation is expected. Temperatures drop down into the 20s tomorrow night. And then Thursday does look milder. We have an east wind, though. It's going to be a windy afternoon. Temperatures climb above freezing. We'll climb into the upper 30s to low 40s. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 20. Tomorrow, a brief shower in the afternoon, cloudy. The winds kick up. Temperatures in the upper 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We're into the low 40s Thursday. Friday's high of 47 is very early in the day. It's going to be cooling off throughout the afternoon, so just keep that in mind. Colder weather over the weekend, but nothing colder than what we've been dealing with over the past couple of weeks. We're in the 30s both Saturday and Sunday. First day of winter. I like to call it the winter solstice. I feel like winter's been around since like Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
But it is on the calendar this week on Sunday.
True. And do you like how on the 47-degree day he says, look at this awesome temperature, and then says there's an asterisk?
That's how it is around here.
Bill, thank you.
A second levee breach triggered by historic Pacific Northwest flooding has prompted new evacuation orders near Seattle.
As Steve Patterson reports, the National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning.
The latest is the mess that it has left behind. This is Pacific Washington. This is the community where that second levee has failed. That one was what's called a HESCO barrier, so more of like a makeshift, almost a sandbag type situation that was just overloaded. And I think that's what we've seen repeatedly now because of the amount of rain that this area has had. The system, the ground is saturated, the levee system is stressed, and you can see what's left behind. I mean, just look at how deep this is, that mailbox. The water levels actually dropped significantly. It used to be much higher than that. So we've started to see it kind of move out. We've seen them sandbagging that breach. They're working on it. Thankfully, evacuations have lifted. They started overnight. This thing broke somewhere around like 1:30 in the morning. Neighbors were woken up by first responders who were going door to door. We spoke to some neighbors who were knocking on their elderly neighbors, trying to check on each other, trying to make sure that everybody got out okay. We've spoken to some neighbors who remained here because they thought it felt safe. And you know, obviously the situation that they dealt with was very, very troubling at the time. Thankfully, again, a lot of that cleanup work is underway in this community, and the mess is sort of something that's left behind. But that's not the primary concern. The primary concern is what happens next, because in the forecast over the next 24, 48 hours, tonight into tomorrow, into the next day, we are expecting even more rain. So the question is, can the stress of the systems that are preventing a calamitous flood, and thankfully we haven't seen that yet, is it enough with more rain coming in to prevent what could be a very big disaster in these communities? And that's what first responders, that's what officials are prepping for right now, but they are really up against it, guys.
All right, Steve Patterson reporting. Coming up, a warning: empty without those toys.
I know it's a little bit of a bummer, but we know it's a good thing too. We're taking a look at our season snowfall total for Utica for today's date. After getting more snow over the weekend, Utica is approaching 40 inches. We're 38.9 inches. We are 21 inches above average. Although I think this number is going to start to go down because we're not expecting a lot of snow this week. It's actually going to be more of a rainmaker that's going to be our next weather maker. That's going to be later this week. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet across central New York. Temperatures are going to warm up. Warmest day looks to be Friday, and that 47 happens in the morning. And again, the next rainmaker is between Thursday and Friday. Also, just wanted to point out, we are above average for snowfall. We are running ahead in terms of precipitation recently. The drought is, we wouldn't say officially over, but it's looking a lot better. And with more rain in the forecast, things are just going to continue to go in a better direction in that department. Some cooler weather will be arriving heading into the weekend. If you're taking the dog out for a walk this evening, temperatures will be in the 20s. Watch your footing. There could be a couple of slippery spots as temperatures continue to fall into the 20s. Tonight's featured dogs, Jack and Faith from Cassville. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. A record number of Americans.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. It's going to be a cold night tonight. Temperatures drop down into the upper teens, but we are looking at dry weather, at least for the short term. And the big story going forward is some warmer temperatures. This is a live look at Oneonta, 23 degrees. We are looking at dry weather. A couple of flurries are possible north, but the weather does look dry as we get into this evening. Many folks capturing a really pretty sunset. Of course, it sets pretty early these days, so we'll call it an afternoon sunset. This picture from Maria Palumbo in the hills of Schuyler. I like to call this a fire and ice type sunset. Really neat contrast between the reds and the snow on the ground. We haven't seen much of the sun lately, so today was kind of a treat. You have to go back to last Monday when we saw it. That was a very cold day. And that's the thing about this time of year. It's very, very cloudy. The days that do have the sun are typically the cold days, and this is what made today such a treat because it wasn't all that cold, at least compared to what we dealt with last week. Skywatchers checking in Whitesboro, 27 degrees, Helen and Cassville, 23, Norway, Donna with 21, Stewart in Cooperstown with 20 degrees, Gary in Skidivas, 26. The next weather system approaches from the northwest. This is a very weak cold front. It's going to produce wind, but not a lot of precipitation. That wind will be arriving in the afternoon. Could see wind gusts between about 30 to 40 miles an hour as the front rolls through. Tonight, cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the upper teens. Tomorrow, we start out with temperatures in the 30s, so it actually warms up pretty quickly in the morning, and we'll be above freezing, so the snow is going to melt, at least some of it. We're looking at high temperatures in the upper 30s. The front arrives in the afternoon, producing a few sprinkles and flurries, and those that does not last for very long. The winds kick up in the late afternoon. A few lingering rain and snow showers into tomorrow evening. Little accumulation is expected. Heading into tomorrow night, cloudy skies. Thursday, the next area of low pressure moves in from the west. This one's much stronger, and this is going to draw a strong south wind. It's going to help temperatures climb into the upper 30s to low 40s. Some heavy rain is in the forecast as we get into Thursday night and Friday as temperatures climb well into the 40s. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 20. Tomorrow, we're looking at cloudy skies, a brief shower in the afternoon. Again, the winds pick up into the west later in the day. Temperatures in the upper 30s, and it's generally a windy stretch. Thursday, breezy conditions, downright windy later in the day, 42. The windiest day looks to be Friday, especially early. An early high of 47. Most of the day will be a lot cooler than that as colder air works in from the west. Temperatures in the 30s over the weekend, cloudy skies Saturday, some light snow is possible Sunday, which is also the winter solstice. Monday, mostly cloudy, 25, and then some light snow here as we look ahead to Tuesday. We'll be right back.
With Chief Meteorologist Bill Kardis.
So nice to see the sunshine today. We won't see it much here throughout the rest of this week, so I hope you had a chance to enjoy it. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. Temperature is 26 degrees. We have some high clouds out there. Those are going to be lingering around as we head into tonight and tomorrow. Our weather headlines, dry tonight. We're not going to be dealing with any snow for the short term. If anything, it's going to be warming up. We do have a chance for some rain and snow showers tomorrow as the cold front rolls through. One of the big headlines, the wind. That's going to be picking up beginning tomorrow, and it's something we'll be dealing with for a good portion of the week. We are also expecting some milder temperatures towards the end of the week as well. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 20s this evening. We are tracking a cold front tomorrow that will kick up the wind. We've got to look at that and some warmer weather ahead. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
A Utica restaurant is closing on Saturday.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Kardis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica, and it's a pretty quiet night. The weather will remain dry, so if you're heading out and about, maybe doing some shopping, going out to eat, things look pretty quiet across the region, and that's going to be the case for the remainder of this evening. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Not much going on. A couple of flurries continue north of the Mohawk Valley. Really not a big deal tonight. Watch out for some slippery spots. That is something we have to keep in mind over the next couple of days. Because we had sunshine today, some of that snow melted, not much, but enough that this is a concern. Any of that snowmelt refreezing could cause some black ice. And this is going to be more problematic over the next couple of evenings. So now is a good time to think about treating untreated surfaces, sidewalks, driveways, parking lots, and be aware of this over the next couple of days. Again, as we climb above freezing during the day and fall below freezing at night. Beautiful sunset tonight. This was from Maria in Schuyler. Our sunset times are very slowly increasing. Today's sunset 4:26, next week 4:30. By the end of January, it'll be after 5 o'clock. It is still getting darker at a faster rate in the mornings, and that's why we are still not to the darkest day of the year, which is coming up on Sunday, by the way, the winter solstice. Windy conditions will be something we're tracking over the next couple of days. It begins tomorrow. A cold front arrives in the afternoon that could create wind gusts between about 30 to 40 miles an hour as winds turn into the west. The winds will diminish tomorrow night, only to be back on Thursday, this time from the south. So some of the hilltops south of the Mohawk Valley expect windy conditions Thursday. And then as a cold front sweeps in from the west, winds will pick up again heading into Thursday night. Peak gusts look to be about 35 to 40 miles an hour, so that's below the risk for anything significant or damaging, but it could be enough to cause some issues. Skywatchers coming in with temperatures in the 20s, Helen and Cassville 23, Norway 21, Stewart and Cooperstown with 20 degrees. This cold front drops in from the northwest and it arrives tomorrow. It's a fairly weak front in terms of precipitation, but it does bring the wind. Cloudy skies tonight, temperatures drop down into the upper 20s. Or I should say upper teens to low 20s. Tomorrow, we warm up pretty quickly. Temperatures will climb into the 30s, will be above freezing. A few rain and snow showers in the afternoon and evening, and the winds will be kicking up. Tomorrow night, temperatures drop down into the 20s, and it looks warmer on Thursday, especially Thursday night. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 20. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, a few showers in the afternoon, and the winds kick up 37. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We're into the 40s Thursday and Friday as milder air works in. So a thaw, that high of 47 Friday will be early in the day. It's windy in the afternoon, colder, but not really cold over the weekend. Temperatures in the 30s, some snow showers return Sunday.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. Utica Comment Cast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. All right, so we didn't have snow for a day. We had some sunshine, but now black ice is out there.
Yeah, you got to think about that because the snow melted today, even though we were below freezing. The sun came out, and that makes it problematic. We're going to get into this freeze-thaw cycle over the next couple of days, and I want you to be mindful of this. It's probably not a bad idea to treat your sidewalk or your driveway, if you haven't already done so, to prevent this from forming in the first place, and at the very least, be very aware of this in the evening time over the next couple of days. Current temperature 26 degrees, clear skies. We have that high overcast, so we can see the stars, but it's not completely clear. Live look at the Airfield Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. We do expect dry weather tonight. Our weather headlines, again, dry tonight, dry for the first part of tomorrow. It turns windy and generally warmer, at least above freezing over the next couple of days. We do have some heavy rain possible heading into Thursday night. Partly cloudy tonight, low temperature of 20. Again, some warmer days ahead. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, Chipotle.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. The weather tonight looks pretty quiet. Some high clouds out there, but other than that, it is going to be dry. Just watch out for a few slippery spots. We had some melting snow today. Temperatures are below freezing tonight. That is a recipe for black ice, and that's going to be the case over the next couple of nights as we get into this thaw-freeze pattern over the next couple of days. Live look at the Airfield Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Quiet across our area. We do have some snow showers well to our north. They will stay to the north. Had a beautiful sunset today. This was from Maria in Schuyler. Nice to see at least a little bit of color today. Nice to see the sunshine. We really haven't seen much of it lately. In fact, you have to go back to last Monday before we saw any substantial sunshine. That was a very cold day. Temperatures were in the teens. So it was nice to see the sun today without it being frigid. We won't see much of the sun over the next couple of days. What we will see is the wind. Next couple of weather systems will be bringing wind with them, and it begins tomorrow with the cold front Winds will gust between 30 to 40 miles an hour as the front rolls through. The winds will diminish tomorrow night, only to be back on Thursday. The next weather system brings a south wind. Winds will be gusting to 25 to 30 miles an hour. The Mohawk Valley, that's a cold east wind throughout Thursday. The winds turn into the west Thursday night, and that means the winds will pick up again. Thinking gusts could be as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour heading into Thursday night. It will be windy, but it's not to the level of significance in terms of any serious damaging wind. I think that'll be off the table. So we look at the radar and satellite image again. The next weather system is a cold front dropping in from the northwest. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the upper teens. Tomorrow, it's a cloudy day. I don't think we'll see much sunshine. In the afternoon, that front moves in. Quick burst of rain or snow showers. That lingers into tomorrow evening. Little accumulation is expected. Temperatures climb into the 30s. Tomorrow night will fall below freezing. We're down into the 20s and teens. And then Thursday, some sunshine and east wind will be above freezing. We'll climb into the upper 30s near 40. The weather looks a lot warmer tomorrow night and into Friday morning. Temperatures are expected to climb into the 40s with a potentially heavy rainfall. Could see as much as an inch of rain, half an inch to an inch of rain Thursday night into Friday. Partly cloudy tonight, low temperature of 20. Tomorrow, we're above freezing, cloudy, few afternoon rain and snow showers, 37 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Low 40s Thursday, mostly cloudy. Thursday night into Friday, that's when the majority of this warmth is expected. So when you wake up Friday morning, it's fairly mild, but it gets a lot colder throughout the day. We'll be back into the 30s, rain showers turn over to snow showers, and we'll likely see everything freeze over again. We're into the 30s over the weekend.
I mean, unless we're talking 50 and 60 for several days, we're going to probably still have snow around for Christmas, especially in the North Country right now.
I think so.
Wow,
there's plenty on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you, Bill. Coming up next, that's a wrap on the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Karnes. Okay, so we had some sunshine today. Check that off. No snow today. Check that off. Black ice, though, tonight, right?
It's always something around here, right?
It sure is, right?
Yeah, we do have to watch out for black ice, not only tonight, but over the next couple of nights, because we're going to get into this freeze-thaw pattern. We'll climb above freezing during the day. We'll fall below freezing at night. Specifically, sidewalks, driveways, parking lots are the things to be most concerned about. And it's not a bad idea to treat your sidewalk soon, because, again, this is something we'll be dealing with over the next several nights. Current temperature 24 degrees. We have a high overcast in place. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet. It's going to stay dry tonight. We are tracking windy and warm weather. Warm as in above freezing, and a lot less cold is probably the better way of explaining that. Some heavy rain is possible heading into Thursday night as a cold front moves in. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 20. Tracking temperatures in the 40s over the next couple of days. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, Chipotle Mexican.
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Karnes.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Pretty quiet night. It's cold out there. Temperatures are in the 20s. Watch out for some patchy black ice. We had a little bit of snow melt today. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. We do have a couple of snow showers well to the north. Those will stay out of our area. We saw a beautiful sunset earlier today. This picture by Maria in Schuyler. It was very nice to see the sunshine this afternoon. We don't get much of it this time of the year. In fact, you got to go all the way back to last Monday before we saw a sunny day. And on that day, it was really cold. And that's usually what it takes as we get into winter. It's usually the really cold days of the year where we get the sunshine. Otherwise, it's generally cloudy. And the clouds are back over the next couple of days, along with the wind. That's also something we're tracking. Tomorrow afternoon, a cold front arrives from the west. This is going to kick the wind up. We're expecting wind gusts to be between about 30 to 40 miles an hour as the front rolls through. The winds do diminish in the evening, but they're back for Thursday. Low pressure works in from the west. The winds become south along the higher elevations, but it's an east wind in the Mohawk Valley, so it's a breezy day, and it turns downright windy heading into Thursday night and Friday. It looks like wind gusts up to about 40, maybe 45 miles an hour. That's windy, but that's not enough to cause any significant damage. We'll continue to keep an eye on that in case anything changes. We have a cold front dropping in from the northwest. This will bring us a few showers here tomorrow. It's partly to mostly cloudy overnight. Temperatures will drop into the 20s. We actually rise overnight with that south wind kicking in. Temperatures climb into the mid-30s. Will be above freezing tomorrow afternoon. That cold front arrives in the middle of the day. A round of showers mixed between rain and snow. A few lingering snow showers into tomorrow evening. Little accumulation is expected. Down into the 20s tomorrow night, and then on Thursday we're above freezing. We'll see partly sunny skies early, and then the clouds will thicken up as we head throughout the day. Widespread rain, potentially heavy rain in the forecast heading into Thursday night and Friday. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 20. Tomorrow, looking at cloudy skies, showers expected in the afternoon, a high of 37. Storm Tracker 2's 7-day forecast. Mostly cloudy Thursday, 42. It's windy Friday, we're up to 47. That's early in the day. I think by Friday evening we'll be below freezing. So it's going to be cooling off throughout the afternoon. Saturday, 31. The winter solstice is Sunday.
Oh, is that what that snowflake floating in midair
it is.
Aha.
We don't say the first day of winter around here. We know better. It's a winter solstice.
Yeah, because winter can be anywhere from late October to who knows.
I feel like it started really early this year for sure.
I feel like it did, but you've done a great job navigating it for us, Bill. Thank you. Coming up.